Greetings all. Today on Green Christendom, we're going to be talking about some updates on my garden. It's been a while, but I've got some things growing and some things to share with you. First of all, in front of me here is a Mary garden that I installed for my mother-in-law. Good place to sit and meditate and pray to the Mother of God, the new Eve. Here she is in a garden, so we can think of her as a new Eve. A lot of times there's symbolic flowers put for Mary. I put some things that would look pretty, but this rose is a symbol of our Blessed Mother. Just as she is the Queen of the Saints, we tend to see roses as Queen of the Flowers. So in the Litany of Loretto, she's called the Mystical Rose. Right here is a dragon fruit vine. Now, I didn't plant this. My father-in-law planted this from a little piece that his friend gave him. But I have made some starts that I'll show you in a little bit, but let's look at the vine itself first of all. Right here is a dragon fruit coming on. Right here are some dragon fruit flowers. They're about to bloom. Hopefully I can be here on the night they bloom so I can try to pollinate them. And looking closer, we have some small blooms here and here and here. This one, that one, that one. A piece was kind of coming to the ground right here, so I took that off to start some new starts recently. Oh, here's a couple more flowers. Here I have some stuff that I'm going to be propagating. I have some dragon fruit from this dragon fruit plant over here that I'm propagating. I got some off of the stuff that's in the more shaded area where it's probably not going to bear fruit and where the lawnmower keeps nipping it off when he comes by. So this right here is Malanga. It's got another name in Venezuelan Spanish that I will put up here. Are some yams. Name is what they're called. I am going to propagate these. The yams I'm just going to cut up and we'll get some ashes after we have a little fire and I will coat them in that. The malanga, I'm just going to take this top part off. The rest I'm going to use in a soup. It has a rather dumpling-like flavor. Really nice. So here we have the dragon fruit cuttings and the elderberry cuttings potted up. And there's a little guanabana. It's a very tropical fruit, so I'll probably have to keep it in a pot. But it was very cheap, and my wife loves those things, so. Here are some things I got from the nursery. Lime tree and a lemon tree. Here is a pepper, a mild, I think Mad Hatter pepper. hoping it does well. Maybe I can get some seed off of it too. Here is some lemon thyme. Here is a special, I think, white pineapple. Here is a Peruvian apple cactus, I think, or something like that. Here are some dragon fruits that I got started off of the dragon fruit on the tree over there. Here are some cactus pads that I got from a supermarket and started. Up here have some flowers that didn't get watered very well, and I have some prickly pear cactuses. They were falling over the fence at a local church, and people were just mowing the yard, so grabbed a couple of the cactus pads. And right here, I had some Gladiolas planted in these big pots, and some other bulbs. Right here, some lemongrass. Here are some elderberry bushes. I may give you some old footage from whenever I was starting these. I started them from cuttings and rooted them in water. I'm going to also plant these elderberry cuttings. They've gotten some roots on them. I'm going to pot them up and get them to grow. They were getting a bit root bound. I had up-potted them a couple of times and they kept expanding and filling the pots, so decided I better put them in the ground. It's an aloe vera that I hope to get multiplied and eventually get in the ground. Here's some mint that wasn't looking the best, so I put it in some pots so that I could try and take care of it a bit better. Some Greek oregano that I did the same thing with. Here I have some ginger planted in here that it had some sprouts, so hopefully it comes up soon. Here is a star fruit. I planted a few seeds the end of last year. They had survived through the winter when I took them in and out and such, but I thought this was a goner because the pot that it was in at the time got really soaked and it was looking pretty much dead, but then it sprouted back to life and it's looking pretty good. Here are some Loquat seedlings. There were some loquat fruit that had fallen on the sidewalk, and I got the seeds and I planted it. Here is a malanga that I'm sprouting that I got at the supermarket. Here is a guanabana that I bought for, it was 13 bucks. Don't know what exactly I'm going to do with it. Probably keep it in a great big pot because it's a pretty tropical fruit tree. If we were living more down in South Florida, it might be feasible, but Central Florida, I don't know if I would be able to get it to bear fruit just if I stuck it in the ground. Here are some avocado seedlings and mango seedlings that I started from fruit that I got from the store. Here are some pineapples that I started from some tops of pineapples that I got from the store. Here, I think this is root beer leaf. Have to see. It smells pretty good. And here is a lemon balm that, again, they weren't looking very good where I had them, so I'm trying to nurse them back to health. They're greening up. Thai basil and a thyme that I'm doing the same with. Here's a little avocado seedling that I started last year. I had just put it in a little cup full of soil and left it out. Then one day, I didn't think it was going to sprout. It was pretty cold. Then one day I came out to the patio and there was a cup that had fallen over, and it looked like out of the concrete this tree was sprouting. But it turned out to be that avocado that I had put in the cup. So it's got a little bit of a head start on those. And here is a banana that I planted in the wet spot in the yard. Have to find some nutrients to put on it. Put the grass clippings from whenever they mowed the lawn. And right here is a cactus I started from the dragon fruit cactus vine on the tree. It was getting pretty tall. Unfortunately, it looks like it broke off in the wind. I've got the other part inside, and I will show you. And right here, I have the rest of that cactus that I'm going to cut up and get some new starts from. Sad that it broke off. That was getting nice and big. But blessing out of unfortunate. Get some more dragon fruit cactuses. And right here is some more of the dragon fruit, the one piece that I got that was about to touch the ground. Okay, here's some of my other gardens. We have a canna here. That's a garden flower, but according to David the Good, it's a local plant guru, basically. Who also has a YouTube channel that you should check out. It is a good chop and drop. He also talks about cannas as being a good root vegetable. Some varieties are a better root vegetable than others. Make sure that they're all edible. I think he said they are all edible, but you should check out his article on cannas on his The Survival Gardener blog. Or Florida Survival Gardener, I'm not sure which. And right here and here are malanga, a tropical root vegetable. After you boil it for a while, it makes a good little dumpling, basically. And right here is some Diascoria Cayennesis. That is a form of yam, or name, as it's called in Spanish. You can see these in supermarkets down here. I got a few and I chopped them up and put them in the ground. I was going to dig them up and put them in different places, but didn't really find any room for them, and they all started sprouting, so I trellised them the best I could. Hopefully we have some roots. Probably not going to eat them this year, but I am doing these to get some yam stock. And here are some gladiolas. These are just some flowers that I planted. Look at this one's color. It's nice burgundy wine red color. It was really beautiful before. My grandma Massey used to have some Gladiolas, so I planted them. I also miss spring flowers up north, and kind of more summery right now, but they remind me of spring. Also have a little bit of a gaillardia. I may move that. I had seeded some wildflowers here. It's at least a cultivar of a native plant. Look at those vines. Yams are not the same as sweet potatoes. They have to be cooked to be eaten most of the time. And these are not Diascoria alata, which is a somewhat invasive but edible yam species. And that one's not the common air potato, though they have a kind of air potato of a different shape. The Diascoria bulbifera, which is the air potato, that one is most of the time poisonous. So So here's the dragon fruit flowers that bloomed last night. I pollinated them. Hopefully they'll produce some dragon fruit. I'm going to have that dragon fruit pollination in the next video. Look at all these little flowers to come. Okay, on. Got the Mary garden mulched. So let's see some more of the garden. Getting it cleaned up a bit. Here is some Italian oregano. That's done pretty decently. Here's some Greek oregano. It's not looking the absolute best. Maybe I'll put a little fertilizer on it to see if that improves. Maybe I might take the big plant and put it in a pot to see if I can get it looking better. Baby it. Here is some sage, a tea bush, a aloe vera. Not certain why it's looking as it is. Maybe it's a little sunny. Maybe it's had a little bit much water. It's pretty well drained, I would think, but here's a couple of rosemary plants. I may put those in pots and see if I can get those improved a bit. Here is my spiderwort. That just came up in the garden and I have let it grow. It's a nice little wildflower. I've cut it back to see if I can get it to bloom some more. I may move that over by the Mary garden. Down here in Florida you see a couple of species of native spiderworts growing in people's yards. Here is my habanero. It made it through the winter. It's given me quite a few habaneros. It's not looking the greatest right now. I've cut it back a good bit to see if I can get it to do okay. Here's a cayenne. This also made it through the winter. Here is another habanero that I got more recently. It's been producing some nice big habaneros. Here is a Carmen Italian sweet pepper. I accidentally got that instead of the bishop's cap the other day. I've had a couple of them. I'm not certain what exactly their taste is because I put them in things, but to see how that does. Maybe save some seeds. Here is the ginger I sprouted from store-bought ginger. Going to get that to multiply so I have some ginger stock. And here is a serrano pepper. It's my compost pile. So I am going, since it is in the middle of really hot summer and it's kind of hard to grow stuff down here in Florida, I am again just going to be doing some cover cropping. I'm going to put some black-eyed peas in and some quinoa and chia and see how that goes. I think these are going to bloom tonight. It's exciting. Look, the petals are beginning to show. I'm gonna get these pollinated.